Alrighty guys, so I feel like I've been all over the place here. I came back from vacation and then turned around and had to go back to the LA area for work. Was there for a week. Now I'm back and I didn't have any time really to shoot any content. So here I am scrambling to make sure I make content for you guys. That's right. I think I mentioned it before. I don't know. I tried making a video and then got stopped. And that was like literally almost a week and a half or 2 weeks ago at this point. A week ago. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I told you I would be gathering up shocks to send off to get rebuilt. Here's some shocks. I am going to be sending them off to TSM Enhanced. He is my shock guy over there. Check him out if you guys are looking for somebody to rebuild your shocks, do a good shock package for you. He does a good job. I was turned on to these TSM shocks probably, I don't know, five years ago, maybe 6 years ago, and drastically improved my program, my race program, just having a good set of shocks. Now, I like TSM, but I'm going to say in general, if you're looking to improve your race program, I think going with a shock guy that dynos shocks and has specific setups for your shocks is probably the way to go, because you can always, talk with them about your program, how you drive, how you have your car set up, what's working for you, what's not working for you, all of that happy stuff. Now, there is something to be said about being able to go into like a summit or on a speedway or something like that and just pick up a shock and throw it on your car, which is totally fine too. But I did that for years. But I did honestly notice a difference when I switched to shocks that are rebuilt by a shock guy, not just bought straight off the shelf. So that little bit of fine tuning that they can do to your shocks, I do honestly believe helps. So that's what I'm going to do. I gathered up. These are the only two shocks that I had that I think survived. If you guys remember correctly, I've plowed the right front of this car into the wall a couple times and completely trashed those shocks. And then I had a couple like this break where the end broke off. And then the rest of the shock looks like body-wise and stuff looks okay. This one's got a little bit of a ding up here. I'm not sure if that's going to be a savable shock or not, but I will ship it off to get rebuilt anyways. Something I did notice, so I'll tell you guys now. I have a range of right front shocks. We'll talk about shocks a little bit, and specifically just the right front here. I have a range of right front shocks, and most of them are with my shock builder considered a 3 compression. We always talk about numbers of compression and rebound, but really that's going to be specific to you and your builder, right? Like my 3 may not equal 3 on your shock. Your 3 is probably not going to equal my 3, right? But it will with the same shock builder, your shock builder, right? Because they fill these up with a certain pressure of gas and yada yada yada. There's a whole lot of black magic and voodoo that goes into shock dynoing and that sort of stuff. And since I am not a person with a shock dyno, I'm probably not the best person to explain it to you. I have done a whole bunch of research trying to understand what it is I'm seeing on a shock dyno and a printout sheet, but I'm probably not the best guy to explain it to you, to be quite honest. So there's lots of really, really good information, lots of really good videos out there in YouTube land, or if you go to like a chassis school or something like that. So I'm not going to even remotely begin to tell you I'm an expert on shocks, but it is very important that you understand your shocks with your shock guy, and what you're talking about on the shock dyno, and what you're looking for in your shocks and how they react in your car. So do your studies on your shocks, okay, guys? So back to kind of what I was saying for my program is, I believe both of those broken shocks over there would be considered the 3 compression, so it compressed pretty quick, and a 10 rebound. So it compresses pretty quick, and then it's slower to rebound, slower to extend, right? That's so it will roll over onto that right front, and really, faster. I'm like jerking towards the camera. You can't see the body motion, so it'll roll over onto that right front, and then you can get into that corner, and then it'll start to slowly transfer weight back to the left rear of the car, because as the right front comes up, it transfers weight back to the left rear of the car. So what I currently have for shocks is a major tie down shock. So going back to what I range for shocks, I have everywhere from a 310 is pretty much my standard for what I run. That's like my neutral 310, 311, 312, somewhere in there. That's pretty much my standard. And I go up to a 320. I have a 315, I have a 320. That is a major tie down shock, right? So really that rolls over onto the right front, and like a 320 rolls over onto the right front, and it almost never comes back off. that's when you want it just on the right front, and you want it pegged on the right front, and you don't want it coming back up. that's what that one's for. So but I did notice that I pretty much only have 3 and then a number for all of my shocks. I did not, when I purchased shocks, I did not think to get myself a rough track shock. So rough track, I would probably want something that compresses a little bit slower, and then rebounds a little bit faster. So I might be looking at something like a 4, so that makes it stiffer to compress, which makes it slower, right? Because your shock is a timing device. Whether you want it to act fast or act slow, higher the number, the slower it acts. So I probably want something like a 4. I don't know if it's a really rough track, maybe like a 4.5 or 4.6 or a 4, something in that ballpark. So I'm going to have a conversation with my shock builder, and I'm really hoping that when I send off my shocks, he's going to be able to squeeze me in to get my shocks rebuilt. And as I'm looking around here, I usually try to keep my box that I ship my shock. See, I have a box right there, nice long one. That's the box I ship my shocks back and forth with. But I'm really hoping he'll be able to get my stuff done and back to me before Dirt Track Championship, which is October 9th. And right now is September, 18th or something. I don't know. I didn't even bother to look. We're going to try to get some shocks sent. He's in Arizona, so it might take a little bit of time to get there and get stuff back, but I do believe I'm going to need to order a couple new shocks to make up for the ones that I absolutely mangled. When I say I mangled them, like the whole body was crushed and bent, and I guess they make good trophies. That's about all that they're good for at that point. So now that we've talked about right front shock in particular, if you guys have questions, I'm willing to answer questions down below. If you guys run something super crazy, let me know too. Like if you think I'm absolutely nuts for running the type of shock that I run. Most guys have gone, wow, it has started to rain hardcore outside. I'm sure if I walk, can you hear it? Can you hear it? It's raining. Yeah, if you guys run something crazy, I know most people have gone to the bulb style shock. I might actually have a bulb style shock sitting on the shelf here. Hold on. I do not. I am a liar and a fat mouth. I do have a bulb style shock sitting on that older chassis out at my dad's house, but not here. But those are, you know, they perform a little bit better. They're a little bit more expensive. I tend to get good enough performance for what I'm looking for in my price range with what I'm running now. So that's why I run what I run. So off of the shock topic and letting you guys know what I'm going to be doing there, I went to Harbor Freight, woot woot, and I got myself, well, not really the Porta Power kit, but the frame straightening kit, I guess is what they call it, because it's got the nice small pucks in there. And then they didn't have the regular Porta Power kit, which actually comes with the hydraulic pump and everything, so it's kind of SOL there. But hey, remember back from building the tough truck and stuff, I have the tubing bender, and the tubing bender has the electric powered hydraulic pump, which is hiding back there. It's that green thing that's behind some tin, and that has the same fitting as those over there, the kit that I got. So what I'm going to do is use the kit, and we are finally going to try to address our majorly bent 4-bar mount. You can kind of see it in the shadows here, but it's bent here, all cockeyed. You can go back and watch my other videos, because I don't know, I think I've dwelled on it a lot. I bring it up a lot, and I'm just like, it's bent. Oh well. This last points race, I wanted to try to make some changes, and I would have liked to try to make a bar change, but I couldn't. That is so bent up that I can't make a bar change, and that's not going to work, right? I have Dirt Track Championship coming up. It's what we call it. It's the very last big money race in our area. Actually, that might be a lie now. I think there's one more racetrack that now has a big money race after us that's close by. I'll have to look into that. I think it's Susanville, California. But back on track. That is the last big money race for Rattlesnake Raceway home track, which we did secure the championship. Awesome. So we will be the track IMCA Modified track champion there. But I would like to be able to have the full range of being able to adjust my car. And then if all goes well, I am still trying to keep my fingers crossed that I'm going to be able to go to Las Vegas and run the Duel in the Desert. So that is a race that I have wanted to go to for a very long time. I did attempt to go 1 year, and it was really weird. I went to the doctor's office and for an earache. I thought I had an ear infection, and they're like, well, we're going to give you a COVID test. It was during the time of COVID. We're going to give you a COVID test just in case. And I was like, okay, well, I'm in here for an earache, not a, I'm not feeling all the symptoms of COVID or whatever. And I was halfway to Vegas, and when I got the phone call that I was positive, so had to turn around and come home. So I've never made it to the Duel in the Desert. That's part of why we went down in January and February and ran Las Vegas. I was like, I have an opportunity. I am going to take it. We're going to race Las Vegas. So hopefully this November be able to make it happen. That's if all the stars stay aligned and you know, we can rock and roll and make it to where the equipment will go and afford the trip and stuff. So that's the goal. I'm trying to get myself prepped for Dirt Track Championship to roll into the Duel in the Desert in Las Vegas. So let me know if you guys know of any other California races. I'm in Nevada, but I'm Reno, Nevada, right? So that's like right over the hill from California. Let me know if you guys know of some races during the quote-unquote off-season. I might be interested in looking into going and racing at some of that stuff. So yeah, so this is the plan. I'm going to break into that later on this week. I wanted to get you guys an update. I am so sorry this video kind of got derailed. The work trip just derailed my plans, and you know, when you're a guy that's got a job, you got to do your job, right? So it's unfortunate that this isn't what I do for a living, but we're gonna make the best of it. We'll be ready to go racing. We'll hit the chassis repair stuff hard this week, and hopefully before Dirt Track Championship I'll have some shocks and stuff to go over. So rock on. And then on top of all that, we have some body work to do. Yeah. And then I figured while I was at Harbor Freight, I'd get myself a couple little tools. Seems like there's been a couple times when I've needed a test light, so I got myself a cheap test light to throw into the race car trailer. I don't know, it's I've only ran into a situation where I needed a test light 2 or 3 times, but the times that I didn't have it, I was like, oh man, this sucks. So run into a tool that you need, make sure you go get a cheap one, and at least a cheap one, and throw it in the trailer, right? Pretty much all of my tools in my race trailer are from Harbor Freight or pawn shops or things like that, because they're either going to get broken or lost, most likely lost before they're broken at the racetrack. So, well, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. And at the time of recording this video, I did see that we just reached over 500 subscribers. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. The goal is to try to hit 1,000 before the end of the year. I know that's a pretty lofty goal, but you know, aim high, hit high. Even if you fall a little bit short, as long as you're aiming high, you're going to hit high. So would like to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Thank you all for subscribing. I really appreciate it. So and any of you guys that are new or been watching and aren't subscribed, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Any questions, comments, concerns down below, guys. I do read every comment, so and I try to reply back to everybody. Sometimes it's, you know, notifications come up on my phone and then it goes away, and then I forget to come back and comment, but I try to comment back, and I do read every single one of them. My brother's not here, so keep the dirty side down. Lumsden Motorsports Facebook page, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate you, and we'll catch you next video. Peace.